Fact of the day.
Fact of the day.
Hello, hi, and welcome to Fact Today with me, Mark Lotsu. What did people do before money? So about 200,000 years ago, there'd be the hunter-gatherer tribes of Homo sapiens, our ancestors. And what they'd do is they'd go off and collect, some would collect eggs, some would collect berries, some would collect meat, and they'd all come back and reconvene and they'd share out the spoils. So it'd be about up to 30 people within the group, and you'd know who was good at doing the collecting stuff and who was good at the hunting and who was good at gathering and who wasn't so good, so you could distribute accordingly. So in those smaller groups, you're relying mainly on trust, and you're relying on you have to put in your fair share of the work to get a fair share of the spoils that can be shared with everybody else. Then about 12,000 years ago, there was settled agriculture, so now you could have much larger populations. Instead of just 10, 20, 30 people, you could have hundreds of people. The chap who's growing apples, he could swap with the guy who has chickens and he could get some eggs from the guy who has chickens. And the guy who's growing crops of wheat, he could exchange his bread for eggs or for chickens. And this became a very effective way of bartering. Then it got to a point where instead of exchanging food items, you're exchanging other things. Then when you have the specialised trades like shoemakers and potters, it's very difficult for you to exchange services. For example, if you want a wall to be built, or if you want someone to come and repair damage to your house or to your hut. If I grew apples and I wanted you to build me a wall, then I could say, look, here are some apples if you'll build me a wall. Now next week, you may want some more apples, but I don't want another wall. So it's very difficult for us to exchange again. So then what we needed was a symbol of trust. Symbol of trust could be something like a cowrie shell or a bead, and it's simply an exchange. So I give you some apples, you give me some cowrie shells. Then I can use those cowrie shells to buy some meats, to buy some chickens. Then if the chicken farmer, if he wants a wall, he can give you cowrie shells and you can build him a wall. And that's how the financial exchange first came about. Then, as metals worked, you could have these metal cowrie shells and they'd be used to exchange. Now, the first marked coin is from about 700 BCE, and gold and silver were the most common forms of currency throughout history. Now, the problem with gold and silver was that it could be clipped. Now, clipping is, you'd expect some wear and tear on money. You'd expect some of the edges to become worn away. So people would take advantage of this. They'll file bits off here, shave bits off there, collect them all up. Over time, they could then make a gold bar, which they could then sell. So that's why if you check your money, if you check your coins, you'll see they've got these milled edges. And the milled edges prevented the clipping from taking place. So we've gone from these hunter-gatherer tribes who would share all of the resources to settled agriculture, where you'd exchange goods with each other, to a form of currency that can be used in exchange for goods. And that is where money comes from. So that's what people did before money. Thanks for watching. Love you, bye, love you, bye, love you, bye. Dad, have I missed anything?